Greg Jackson is here. He's got off the motorbike. He's in. Welcome to Greg from Octopus. This is the energy direct debit cycle. It does depend on when you started, but this is to give you an idea. What happens during the year is that as you're in those winter months, you start to get more and more into debt, or you use up your credit. And then once you start to move into summer, in about May, it bottoms out and you start to build up the amount of credit you've got until the middle of November, i.e. right now, when you are in the maximum amount of credit, and you want to be. You've stored it up like a squirrel scoring up its nuts in order to be able to eat them when you're hibernating in the winter.
There's one other thing. You showed the sine wave earlier, the curve. For Octopus, every customer that's on a normal tariff, we do a personalised version of that so they can see the extent to which they're paying too much, too little, they've got too much credit or too little credit. It's called the balance forecaster. It's well worth checking.
I can't play favourites, but I love the idea of a personalised sine curve. Why are energy prices in the UK higher than practically anywhere else in the world? How can you justify record profits year on year when they're in the middle of a cost of living crisis?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I should say, as energy retailers, our profits are capped by the price cap. And so, you know...
2.6%, yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, we don't make that because of things like the fixed deals. So on an average £1,700 bill, we made about £10 or £11 profit last year. That's not the reason for high bills. It's all of that waste in the system. Now, you talk about international comparisons. It's worth saying they're hard to make because taxes vary by country and the way that they put them on bills or in general taxation varies. But the UK, along with Germany, have got the highest consumer prices, and we've got by far the highest prices for businesses, small businesses as well as big industry. And that's because, you know, countries like us and Germany have followed roughly the same policies for the last decade, and we now need to revisit those because they're loading more and more fixed costs into the system. In fact, Martin, let me tell you, there are so many fixed costs in the system now and planned that even if the wholesale price of electricity falls to zero, bills probably wouldn't come down.
Wow.
Undoubtedly, the profits that are being made are from those global oil and gas companies, many of whom are not British, by the way, because we're buying our gas from Qatar and from the USA and elsewhere. Particularly some of the very big, highly subsidised renewable generators who are getting paid at a rate that's attached to the gas price. When gas was particularly expensive, they were earning a lot. Now, there was a bit of a windfall tax there, but where we are today, you know, there's a lot of profit made in that sector. There's set to be a lot more, and there are two things that make it worse, Martin. The first is, we built loads of these wind farms where there's no grid. It's like building a factory where there's no roads. But we pay these wind farms for the electricity they can't deliver, and then we're going to pay a fortune to build new grid to connect them.
And that's part of the reason the price is going up in April is to connect some of those to the grid, isn't it?
Yeah, and that cost is going to keep going up. And look, we also spent, we spent about £1.3 billion a year turning off wind farms.
If we take the pain of increasing energy bills now, is there a guarantee that the money from the increases will go to renewable infrastructure and bring bills down in the future? Now, this is policy, this is government, but you probably know better than anyone. Do you think the investments we're making are going to mean cheaper bills, and when will we see cheaper bills?
Yeah, so it's definitely going into that infrastructure, the renewables plus the grid to connect it. The models suggest that we'll see cheaper bills from maybe 2035, possibly a bit earlier if we're faster building. That's not good enough. That's why we say that we need to look now at where can we save money on those new network builds so we can cut bills a lot sooner. We can't wait that long.